Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Aisha Rashid Khan from Southern Business School, University of Southern Punjab, Multan. Today we are going to discuss chapter 5, the strategic role of HR. By the end of this lecture, students will be able to define what being strategic means. In the context of HR, differentiate between strategic and operational HR roles. Understand how CIPD's concept of strategic capability applies to HR practice. Identify the different levels of strategic contribution made by HR professionals, directors, heads of functions, business partners, and advisors' assistants. Relate theory to practical real world HR examples. What does being strategic in HR means? The idea of HR as a business partner has been widely debated. While some argue about HR's roles, there is strong agreement on one point. HR must be strategic, not just administrative. The phrase being strategic is used frequently in HR and management, but often it is not clearly defined. Many HR departments focus on day-to-day processes, recruitment, payroll, compliance, which are essential but not enough for long-term organizational success. According to the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, CIPD's 2004, strategic capability means the capacity to create an achievable vision for the future, foresee long-term developments, envisage options and consequences, select sound actions, rise above day-to-day detail and challenge, create an achievable vision for the future. HR should help shape where the organization is heading, not just react to today's problems. For example, developing a 5-year talent pipeline for leadership roles. Number second, foresee long-term developments, anticipate changes in the labor market, technology, and employee expectations. For example, preparing for AI and automation by investing in digital upskilling. Envisage options and consequences, weigh different HR strategies, and predict their outcomes. For example, should we outsource training or build in-house expertise? Select sound actions, make informed, evidence-based HR decisions. For example, using data analytics to reduce turnover by identifying high-risk groups. Number 5, rise above day-to-day detail. Don't get stuck only in transactions. Focus on strategic impact. For example, instead of just processing payroll, HR examine reward strategy to boost retention. And number 6, challenge the status quo. Questions traditional practices and introduce innovation approaches. For example, moving from annual performance reviews to continuous feedback systems. Being strategic in HR means more than supporting business needs today. It's about shaping the future of the organizations through people. It requires vision, foresight, decision making, and innovation, all while keeping HR aligned with long-term business goals. This definition mainly fits senior HR leaders, HR directors, heads of functions, but what about junior HR professionals like HR assistants? Their roles are mostly operational. Recruitment, payroll, handling grievances, not visionary. And the practical example is that an HR director at Microsoft works on aligning workforce planning with AI, and cloud growth trends. Meanwhile, an HR assistant may simply process onboarding documents. Both roles matter, but the level of strategy differs. The Thinking Performer concept, CIPD's 2005, and the core idea is that HR professionals should not only perform their duties but also think critically about the impact of those duties. It's about moving from compliance, just following the rules, contribution, shaping how the organization develops and grows. What it means in practice, beyond routine tasks, traditional HR often meant ticking boxes, completing appraisals, processing payrolls, filing employees' records. A thinking performer goes further, asking, is this practice truly helping performance and engagement? Number second point, critical questioning, constantly reviewing HR processes to ensure they align with business goals and employee motivation. Challenging the status quo when practices are outdated or ineffective. And number third, proactive improvement. Not waiting for management to point out gaps, but redesigning processes to create higher value. And the practical example is that adopt case, traditional approach, annual performance appraisals, time consuming, often demotivating, seen as a tick box exercise. Thinking performance approach, HR at Adobe asks, does this system actually improve performance or it is holding people back? And the result is that they scrapped annual appraisals and introduced continuous feedback systems, check-ins, real-time coaching, and the outcome is that increased engagement, reduced voluntary turnover, and stronger alignment between employees and business goals. And number third, being strategic at different HR levels. Number one, HR directors. HR directors sit at the top of the HR function and play a board level role. They are not just administrators of policies, they are architects of how people strategy drives business strategy. What they do, understand organizational strategy, they study the company's vision, markets, competitors, and long-term goals. HR decisions are then shaped to ensure people are ready for those challenges. And number second, link HR practices to business goals. Talent management, right people in the right roles. Culture, reinforcing values that gives the business its edge. Learning and development, building skills for future competitiveness. Number third, shape long-term vision and values. HR directors embedded organizational purpose and values into day-to-day practices. Educate business leaders on HR's impact. They show executives that HR isn't a cost center, but a driver of performance, reputation, and innovation. Think long-term and evidence-based. Move beyond short-term fixes to data-driven, sustainable HR strategies that ensure growth. And the real example is that Unilever wanted to strengthen its brand reputation and align business with sustainability. Action by HR. The chief HR officer launched the Sustainable Living Plan, integrating employee engagement with sustainability values, leadership development with responsibility and ethics. And the impact is that employees felt part of a meaningful vision and mission. Brand reputation strengthened, As a leader in sustainability, HR become a source of competitive advantage by aligning talent, purpose, and culture. Heads of HR functions, L&D, reward et cetera. Heads of HR functions lead specialist areas like reward, diversity. Their job is not just to run programs, but to ensure their function aligns with business strategy, supports organizational goals, fits within the HR strategy, complements other HR functions, delivers measurable value, prove its impact. What they should do. Number 1, understand how business goals affect their functions. For example, if the company plans global expansion, L&D must focus on leadership pipelines and cross-functional training. Health management sees HR implications of strategy, translate business strategy into people outcomes. For example, if we expand into Asia, we will need leaders skilled in cross-border management, ensure their functions add measurable values, prove ROI throughout matrices like retention, engagement, productivity, or cost saving. And the real example is that Amazon, head of learning and development, business goal, global expansion of warehouses. HR challenges need capable leaders to run operations worldwide. L&D strategy, the head of L&D designed leadership training programs for warehouse managers, and the impact is that build a strong internal pipeline of leaders, supported Amazon scalable global growth, proved LAD as a driver of competitive advantage, not just a support function. HR business partners HR business partners work directly inside business units, example marketing, IT operations. They ensure that HR policies and people practices are tailored to the unit's goals and not just generic. HR rules, what they do, understand the business unit environment and goals. For example, if a business unit is focusing on digital transformation, HR BPs knows that means new digital skills, agile teams, and culture shifts are needed. Number 2, build trust with managers. HR BPs are partners, not just advisors. They sit with managers, listen to challenges, and co-create solutions. And number 3, anticipate future HR needs. Look beyond current staffing issues to predict talent gaps, succession risks, or restructuring requirements. Provide proactive evidence-based solutions. Use HR analytics, workforce planning, and data to guide managers on decisions. For example, hiring, promotions, training, and the real example is that HSBC's retail banking is shifting toward digital banking. HRBP's role, notice employees in traditional branches lack digital skills. Instead of waiting for resignations or customer compliance, the HRBP proposed a reskilling initiative, and the impact is that employee adapted to digital banking. Customer service quality improved. The company stayed competitive in the digital era. HR advisors or assistants. HR advisor assistants are primarily responsible for delivering effective HR services and providing operational support to managers and employees. They focus on day-to-day HR tasks rather than long-term strategic planning. And the key responsibilities: understand business goals. Even though their role is operational, they must know the organization's objectives. This ensures that their HR support, recruitment, payroll, employee record is aligned with business needs. For example, if a company's goal is rapid expansion, HR assistants help speed up the hiring process. Support HR operations activities include recruitment coordination, payroll processing, employer relations support, handling HR documentation, and compliance. These tasks may seem routine, but they create the foundation for HR credibility. And the real example is that Accenture shared services. At Accenture, an HR assistant working in a shared service center plays a crucial role during new client projects. Their responsibility is to ensure smooth recruitment, posting jobs, scheduling interviews, managing candidate communications, timely onboarding so that project teams are ready when the client project begins. While they are not directly shaping HR strategy, their work ensures that staffing aligns perfectly with project deadlines, making an indirect but vital contribution to business success. And the summary is that being strategic in HR is not one size fits all. It varies by role and level. HR directors shape HR strategy at organizational level. Heads of function align functional HR strategies with business goals. HR business partners work locally to embed HR into business units. HR advisor assistants ensure operational efficiency that supports higher level strategy. And the message is that even at junior levels, HR can be strategically aware, ensuring digital daily work contributions to the bigger organizational picture. Being strategic in HR is not just about sitting in the boardroom. It's about making every strategy, every HR activity from recruitment to performance management contribute to long-term business success. Thank you so much.